staff works hard to fulfill our department's mission, which is that we are committed to providing safe and reliable transportation for eligible Windsor residents.
Brenda, you listening?
For eligible Windsor residents so that they may access essential services in the area to maintain independent lifestyles. What many people may or may not know is that these drivers do much, much more than that. The drivers report to work between 7 o'clock and 7:30 in the morning. When they arrive in the morning, they thoroughly inspect their assigned vehicle to ensure that it is safe to drive. If there is snow or ice on the vehicle, they clear it. If it's 10 degrees outside, they're out there. If it's 95 degrees and humid, they're out there. The drivers reach out to each patron they are scheduled to pick up that day, confirming their rides and their pickup times. Then they hit the road to do what they do best. On many days, the drivers are on the road, sometimes non-stop, for up to 8 or 9 hours. Driving like that takes so much energy and concentration. While doing this, they complete accurate statistical reports for our grants, try to squeeze in time for a quick lunch, keep the vehicles clean, and complete miscellaneous errands, including picking up and delivering department mail, picking up checks, delivering deposits, delivering newsletters, picking up paper, supplies, milk, ice, and other odds and ends. They assist with shopping bags, boxes full of food from the food bank, which sometimes, I promise you, feel like they're 150 pounds each. They load up walkers, secure wheelchairs, and provide a door-to-door service for our patrons. They fuel their vehicles at the end of each day. Their level of customer service is through the roof. The drivers provide transportation to clients of the Caring Connection Adult Day Health Center here in Windsor Monday through Friday. The Caring Connection is a facility that provides daytime care to frail, elderly, or disabled adults. They transport clients from Windsor Locks, Windsor, Bloomfield, and Hartford. Last year, this staff you're looking at provided 1,000 trips for medical appointments here in Windsor alone. 577 trips for social services food bank programs. 924 medical rides to Hartford, Bloomfield, and West Hartford. 637 trips for hair appointments. The most important ride, obviously. 739 trips for errands, such as going to the bank, going to the library, picking up prescriptions, many other in-town types of errands like that. 1,910 trips for shopping. 7,348 trips for clients of the Caring Connection Adult Day Health Center. 8,243 trips for the Senior Center Hot Lunch Program, exercise, bingo, or cards here at the L.P. Wilson Community Center. These drivers work hard, very hard. There's a lot of things that they do kind of behind the scenes that not many people may see, such as, going out in that 5-degree wind chill weather in the morning and scraping ice off of windshields, or many of the other things that I mentioned, and I'm missing 1,000 other things that they do. But this is a part-time job. That's what I say to a lot of people. This is a part-time job. And these guys really make it into a full-time job for themselves because they're so passionate and dedicated and care so much about what they do. So I just wanted to recognize them for that tonight. And I also want to thank the many Dial-A-Ride patrons that came here tonight, in my mind specifically because we're doing this little get-together for the drivers. So thank you guys, especially Brendan Keelan. I love you. I would like to just say a few words about each driver individually. No particular order. The first driver I'd like to mention is Jake Troutman, Jr. Jake was hired on March 10th. I hadn't even graduated high school yet. 2008. I'd like to mention a few hobbies about the drivers. You know, kind of get to know them a little bit. Jake likes to fish, go bowling, and participate in his church. His favorite food is seafood, but he can't eat it.
What's his second favorite?
So as I mentioned, Jake has been working here a lot longer than I have. When Jake is not winning one of the raffles at evening bingo, you might find him doing work on one of our buses or interacting with senior center patrons in the cafeteria. When I mention him working on one of our buses, I might be referring to him replacing lights, repairing doors, replacing windshield wipers, or completing many other tasks that help save us a lot of time. What he does for the department is invaluable. So thank you, Jake. Now that I think about it, this might be in order of how long they've been working here. So, Ed Sargalski is the next driver. Ed was hired on June 30th, 2009. Ed's hobbies, a few of Ed's hobbies are skiing, fishing, and other outdoor activities like hiking. His favorite food is Italian food, especially pizza. So Ed has also been working here a lot longer than I have. I would consider our jobs extremely stressful at times, and I don't think I've ever seen Ed stress over anything, ever. Ed is always willing to help out and do whatever is needed to make sure our patrons stay happy and stay safe. He's always good for a joke first thing in the morning to put smiles on our faces to start the day. Thank you, Ed. The next driver I'd like to recognize is Ellis Cobbs. Ellis was hired on December 6th, 2010. Some of his hobbies include watching football, especially his favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Even though they're sitting at home.
Relaxing at home and playing word games. His favorite food is also pizza. Ellis and I somehow get along very well, for him being a huge Steelers fan and me being a huge Patriots fan.
Yeah, whatever.
But I'm so glad that that's the way it is. Ellis is so compassionate with our patrons, and no pun intended, always goes the extra mile to make sure our drivers have positive experiences while using our service. I've always been impressed with Ellis's ability to just do it, as he always seems to get the job done safely and efficiently. I'm so glad to have Ellis as a part of our transportation team. So thank you, Ellis. I'm sure many of you know Betsy, the Dona. She's unable to be here tonight, but I still obviously like to recognize her. Betsy was hired July 1st, 2012, and promoted to the lead driver position on December 30th, 2012. Her hobbies include gardening, bird watching, and feeding birds, and reading. Her favorite food is tuna noodle casserole.
That's good stuff.
Betsy is Windsor Senior Transportation's lead driver. She does all the normal duties of driving for the Dial Ride program, but also covers for me if I am ever sick or on vacation. I swear, every time I am on vacation, Betsy gets slammed with a tough week in the Dial Ride office. But during these times, she always keeps a good head on her shoulders and gets the job done. When I do take vacation, I'm comfortable and know that everything back at work is going just fine because of the great job she does overseeing the service while I'm out. I'm a big outdoorsman, and sometimes blab on and on to her about how I saw a deer or a bear or a raccoon over the weekend. When I blab to her about these things, she always assures me that what I saw was indeed as cool as I think. And I truly do appreciate that, so thank you to Betsy, who's not here. The next driver I'd like to recognize is Woody Woodard. Woody was hired on April 30th, 2012. His hobbies include photography, bowling, and singing in his male chorus. His favorite food is all foods, especially chicken. The first thing I have to say about Woody is that I'm pretty sure he sleeps here overnight. The drivers typically report to work for about 7:30 a.m. or so, and from time to time, I arrive around 6:45 in the morning. Each time I do this, Woody has already started his bus, is sweeping it out, has already tested his wheelchair lift, and is ready to rock and roll. Woody always tells us before he hits the road in the morning, guys, if you see me out in Simsbury, you know I'm lost. So thank you, Woody, for all the hard work that you've got for us here. I would next like to recognize Mr. Frank Granato. Where do I start? Frank was hired June 25th, 2013. His hobbies include watching sports, especially the Red Sox and UConn, talking state and local politics, and dining out. However, he's a big cook and does all the cooking at home. His favorite food is Italian food. Frank is probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. I love scheduling him on Mondays because when we are all dragging our butts into work early in the morning after the weekend, he's always ready to put a smile on our faces. He tends to get us riled up in the mornings. Usually by reading a funny joke or by doing his signature dance.
Come on, Woody.
Which we all love so much. Oh, God. So thank you, Frank, for being such a valuable part of our team. Thank you.
I'm gonna have him do that again. You love to.
One more time.
One more time,
please.
Frank.
All right. Next, I'd like to recognize Jim Fournier. Just seems like yesterday that he started. Jim started on August 31st, 2014. His hobbies include woodworking, photography, and listening to good jazz music.
Yay.
I do have to say, he's a phenomenal woodworker. He makes pens made out of wood that are just gorgeous, beautiful finish, and from time to time, he'll take me out of my zone that I'm in, out of my desk, and show me, and there he does a beautiful job. So. His favorite food is good Chinese food. When Rebecca and I sat down with Jim for an interview, we immediately knew that he would fit in so well on our transportation team. Time has flown by since Jim started working with us, most likely because he does such a good job and I never have to bother him about anything. Jim has proven that he can take heavy workloads with no problem and has built an extremely strong rapport with our Dial-A-Ride patrons. We are extremely fortunate to have Jim on staff, and I thank you, Jim, for all of your hard work. Thank you. Another driver I'd like to recognize who was not able to make it tonight is Marcus Mann. Marcus was hired on October 9th, 2014. His hobbies include, we're just like a fishing team. His hobbies include fishing, he likes cars, and relaxing and watching sports. His favorite food is pasta. For those of you that may not be aware, Marcus is a full-time firefighter for the city of Hartford. Unfortunately, he cannot be here tonight because he's scheduled to work there. He works here for senior transportation on most days that he's not working in Hartford. I would say that he has a pretty tiring job over there. However, he never fails to show up to work on time after a 24-hour shift at Hartford Fire. He caught on very quickly to what our service is all about and has played a huge role in the success of our Dial-A-Ride program. So thank you to Marcus for everything he does. Next is Carl Thomas. The next two are probably some newer faces for those of you who aren't around all the time. But Carl was hired on September 2nd, 2015. His hobbies include going to the gym, spending time with his grandson, Justin, and praying. His favorite food is spaghetti and meatballs. All right, let's see. Carl was hired as a senior transportation driver 5 months ago, but he has worked for the town of Windsor much longer than that. Does anybody here recognize Carl Thomas? Please raise your hand. Okay, you've gotten a speeding ticket. You've gotten a speeding ticket. You've gotten a speeding ticket. your hand up, Shirley. You got a speeding ticket. Carl, if you can't guess, is a retired Town of Windsor police officer. And he has returned back to work for the Town of Windsor part-time as one of our senior transportation drivers. Carl is an unbelievably quick learner and is extremely caring and compassionate towards all of our patrons. He seems to love every second he spends here, and we are all looking forward to keeping him around for a long time. So thank you, Carl. Last but not least, our newest driver, Mr. Bob Glamuzina, over on the end down there. Bob is like he's new.
New.
He started January 4th of this year, 2016. So take it easy on him. His hobbies include flying radio-controlled airplanes, gardening, and fishing, and target shooting. His favorite food is ribeye steak. That's the one I was waiting for. Although Bob has only been working here for less than a month, he's fitting right into our transportation team. I am a firm believer that you need to have fun at work, and Bob has such a great sense of humor and sense of sarcasm that has led to many smiles and laughs already. So far, Bob has been focusing mainly on learning the routes for the Caring Connection Adult Day Health Center, but our Dial-A-Ride patrons will certainly start to see more of Bob in the very near future. So welcome aboard, Bob, and thank you for all that you do. So I appreciate you all coming tonight, and I probably just noted about a third of the things I wanted to know about all the hard work that these drivers put in.
Give yourself a pat on the back because you have made it like that.
No. This is seriously, I appreciate that, Marie, but this night is about the drivers because I can sit at my desk and make the schedules and report on the grants and do all that fun administrative stuff, but these guys and lady, Betsy, are the backbone and the ones who really get down and dirty and make our services successful as it is. So seriously, thank you guys so much. So I've been in my position as transportation coordinator for a little over 2 years now, and along with you, the seniors, these are the people that help allow me to really enjoy what I do every day. I would also like to thank Rebecca, because half of these drivers were already on board when I came on board. So, thank you, Rebecca. And if we could just please give one more round of applause to these fine drivers. They put in so much hard work and so much energy every single day. And they deserve more than the world. So, please, if we could give one more round of applause for them, they deserve it.